আমাদের আজকের সেশনের থিম হচ্ছে ডিজাস্টার ম্যানেজমেন্ট। আমি চেয়ার করছি নীলুফার জাহান। আমার সম্বন্ধে কথা, আমি অস্ট্রেলিয়াতে থাকি, একটি সরকারি দপ্তরে সিনিয়র রিসার্চার হিসেবে কাজ করি। এর আগে ইউনিভার্সিটিতে মাস্টারি করার অভিজ্ঞতা আছে। এবং এই সেশনের চেয়ার করছে আমার সঙ্গে স্বপন পাল, এবং আমি এখন স্বপন পালকে অনুরোধ করব জাস্ট টু ইন্ট্রোডিউস হিমসেলফ। স্বপন।
Thank you, Nilufar. Bhabi, আমরা ওনাকে ভাবি বলি, কামরুল ভাইয়ের wife, এবং both are really very dedicated to the cause of Bangladesh. এটা সত্যিকার পক্ষে প্রশংসনীয়। তো ওনাদের হাতে ধরেই হাতে খড়ি আমার এই ব্যানের অস্ট্রেলিয়াতে কাজ করা। তো আমি এখানকার প্রাদেশিক সরকারের একজন পরিবেশ বিজ্ঞানী ম্যানেজার হিসেবে কাজ করি, এবং তার সাথে ইউনিভার্সিটির সাথে গবেষণায় জড়িত। আর এখানে আমার পার্টিসিপেশন হচ্ছে ব্যান অস্ট্রেলিয়ার জয়েন্ট কনভেনার হিসাবে। তো ইটস এ প্লেজার, আপনাদের সাথে দেখা হচ্ছে, কথা হচ্ছে, এবং আপনাদের কথা শোনার জন্য সত্যিকার পক্ষে আগ্রহান্বিত। ধন্যবাদ।
আমাদের আজকে স্পিকার হচ্ছেন মোট 6 জন। একজন আরাফ অ্যাচল, একজন নেক্সট হচ্ছেন আলম এএনএম শফিকুল অ্যান্ড সৈকত সাখাওয়াত হুসেন, একজন হচ্ছেন আজিম একেম ইকবাল ব্রিগেডিয়ার, and Shahadat Basir and Rahman M Maksudur, AHM Hasanuzzaman। এবং 6 জনের মধ্যে আমাদের প্রায় 5 জনই এখন উপস্থিত আছে। তারপর যদি জনাব হাসানুজ্জামান জয়েন করে, we'll be happy to include him into our discussion. So may I please request Araf, please present your paper on best portable disaster awareness system.
Sure. তো আমরা শুরু করার আগে জাস্ট একটু বলছি যে আমি একটু যখন 10 মিনিট হবে আপনার প্রেজেন্টেশনের টাইমের, তখন আমি একটু বলবো যে আর 2 মিনিট সময় রয়েছে, এবং কাইন্ডলি 12 মিনিটের মাথায় আপনার প্রেজেন্টেশন শেষ করবেন, কারণ আমাদের 6টা প্রেজেন্টেশন, তো আমাদের খুব বেশি সময় থাকবে না হাতে। এই জন্য প্লিজ প্লিজ কোঅপারেট আওয়ার চেয়ারপারসন। থ্যাংক ইউ ভেরি মাচ।
আমি আরেকটু জয়েন করি তাহলে। এখানে কিন্তু কোশ্চেন করা যাবে, তবে আমরা প্রেফার করি প্রেজেন্টেশনের পরে কোশ্চেনটা করলে ভালো হয়। কোশ্চেনের জন্য 3 মিনিট সময় আমরা দিতে পারবো। ধন্যবাদ। আরাফ, ইউ ক্যান স্টার্ট নাও।
ওকে, আমি আমার প্রেজেন্টেশন শেয়ার করতেছি। তো প্রেজেন্টেশনটা তো দেখা যাচ্ছে?
হ্যাঁ, দেখা যাচ্ছে।
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum. I am Abdullah Araf from IDB IoT and Robotics Research Lab. Today I present my paper, FM-based portable disaster awareness system. So before going to my presentation, this is my presentation outline. So today I discuss about this research introduction, objective, method, what equipment we used for this communication, procedures, advantages and disadvantages, also the recommendation for the system, and also conclusion. So if I go into say the introduction, in Bangladesh every year we face lots of disaster in our country, and the disaster time, our every year the cyclone and many kinds of the disasters we face every year. So in that time our communication system fully break down. For that reason, people are not able to communicate in the disaster time. So we in that time only radio signal is the radio communication is working in that time. So we make a plan to use this radio signal. And if we see, and most of the time our CPP team, they using whistle mic for our people before disaster come. And also another problem is when in the disaster time our road and transport system is blocked because the infrastructure breakdown, and people are affected in flood also. They don't know, most of the time they don't know where their shelter is situated, or also they are not aware about the disaster. So we are trying to make a system which is very beneficial for our people, rural area people. These are the research objective. We're trying to make a portable disaster awareness system, and secondly, provide real-time disaster information and ensure disaster areas people safety. And so fourth is transmit continuous local area information, and fifth is established an uninterruptible communication infrastructure. And sixth, using technology for disaster awareness system. So here the method we already tell. In our country, rural area people have most of the people use the smartphone and also a normal phone. But most of the phone we have the FM radio. Okay, so in this advantage, using this advantage, we are trying to make a portable disaster. Portable FM transmitter, which is used a government licensed volunteer like as CPP, Red Cross people, they can they can use this device. They can continuously transmit their local area information, such as where they need to go, what types of preparation they need to do. Always they can transmit using this device, and the people can easily receive it their mobile phone, because when the disaster time our most of the time our electricity goes down, and the internet system is goes down also. But if our local area volunteer use these types of system, people can easily benefited from these types of FM transmitter. And this is our equipment. We proposed a portable device where the station operator can get his local his areas weather temperature, weather humidity, also the air pressure, and also this device is fully solar power, run by solar power. This is the equipment feature. We use the 8-watt FM transmitter, also local weather. This device can measure the local weather and also air pressure measurements. This device controlled by solar power. Also, operator can see the update using the operator see the update using in this device have also a display. And so here we show how all category people can get the benefited from our project. So when our operator, local volunteer transmit the signal, he's around the 5-kilometer area, people easily can get this get the information where their shelter is situated, and which road is blocked by disaster. They can easily know the real-time information from their local information, because in disaster time we need to we need to know what is the situation of our local area. So this is very important. And the advantage is our project. This is the similar geographical interface between neighboring station, less reducted power, well-defined service areas for giving transmitter power. People can easily got information in their phone by using our system. And some advantage also, every project have also much more bandwidth, as much 20 times as much more complicated receiver and transmitter also. So this is the advantage. And so we give some recommendation how our government and how our authorities can use this system. Should make local emergency communication team because our CPP people and the Red Cross area people, they use already some system, but they can also include these types of system in their working procedure. Also develop a smart communication system. Should give a proper technological training in our local area volunteer, which is registered by government. Also, they disseminate the information to people about local disaster FM, creating scientific communication in any easy to understand of manner. So right now, I am going to share a video. I think. Just a minute. Is my video showing there?
Negative, Araf. Still not yet.
No, just a screen, nothing else.
Okay, just. So I think right now the shared, huh?
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay, so now I am share our one small video where we show the how system work and how our Bangladesh why the need of these types of device from our Bangladesh. Let's start.
Please explain, Arif.
Yeah, ma'am. Actually, we are trying to show when our disaster comes. Okay, that time our radio, our mobile communication, internet, and lots of electricity being goes down. But only the way we can communicate with using radio signal, because radio signal is always working in that situation. So using radio signal, we are trying to make a portable FM transmitter which is used by local volunteer. They can easily transmit the information by for his area's people. So thank you. This is our system we show here about our project, and I hope if our system, our authority can take this initiative using these types of system. I hope our people and our local areas, coastal area people can benefit it from this type of system. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Now
Arif. Thank you for your presentation. There could be some questions, but my first question from me.
Okay.
You said that you are developing a system, and that system will work mainly using radio.
Yes, yes.
My question to you: do you have any contact with anyone from government or any other people who can introduce this system into people?
Actually,
contact?
no, actually, this is our proposed. We are right now. We are working in this, working to make this system. I hope if you give us the suggestion of in this conference we attend, then people can give us feedback how we can implement it, or how we can go to authority for presenting them for encouraging them to use this type of system.
So do you have all technical classification and everything?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Already we have all technical specification and everything. From our end, this is ready, and now I hope we can share it.
Yeah. I think if you present, if you can contact we could have some expertise in BAME. So if you send your your paper or details, I'm not sure, but we can discuss about your paper. Okay?
Sure, ma'am. It will be very helpful for us.
Thank you. So any question, please? Is there any question for Arif?
Thank you, Chair. I just wanted to check that. So the radio channel, Arif, well, first of all, very nice presentation, and it's a good I should say technique and technology. Question is, would the radio channel that you are planning, FM, would it be government approved, or do you have to register, or how can you quickly make the channel work?
Of course, sir. This is the main challenge for us right now. But right now, our team, we are already got license from BTRC, which is for amateur radio. We can operate any types of operate radio communication from any other of the country. So right now, for using this channel, we are make this system right now. But we proposed our government they should make an emergency communication channel, of course, for these types of situations. So for some people can make this technique or method using for emergency communication. The government should make a different channel or for emergency communication.
Absolutely, and also within the emergency, there are super emergencies. For example, the army channels should not be disturbed. The other disaster channels should not be disturbed. So there will be a hierarchy of various channel operations, I would like to imagine. Thank you.
Any more question? No, thank you, Arif, for your paper. I think you can apply for your license, whatever in like intellectual property you own it. We'll discuss about that in BEN committee.
Sure. It will be very help us.
Okay, we'll discuss about that. So thank you very much.
Thank
we
you,
can now go to our next presenter, Shafiqul, ANM Shafiqul. Shafiqul is presenting on formulating disaster resilience capacity, zoning for Galachipa and Rangabali Upazila. Could you please? We can't see you.
Madam.
Yeah, that's please.
Yeah. Can you hear me, madam?
We can, but we can see you very hazy photo. I don't know.
Yeah, camera is very problem. So I can start.
Yeah, please. Thank you.
I am NM Shafiqul Alam. I am studying in environmental geography at Salinas University, United Kingdom, and my co-author is Sakhaqat. He is studying a bit in planning. So, a multi-clarity analysis based technique to integrate socio-economic and geo-physical aspects in promoting disaster resilience capacity unit. A case study Galachipa and Rangabali, Upazila, Patuakhali district, Bangladesh. Bangladesh government, Urban Development Directorate, is going to prepare a comprehensive development plan in coastal zone in Bangladesh. There are 7 Upazila. We are consultant of these projects, and we engage with them as a consultant and preparation the master plan, and we suggest them how it can be resilient in disaster aspect. So our study area this is introduction. Introduction, the world is already experienced change in average temperature in season and in increasing frequency extreme weather events and other impacts of climate change events. The faster climate change and the longer the adaptation efforts and the most difficult and costly would be disaster vulnerability and climate change resilience. Okay. Climate change resilience planning comprises an spatial arrangement relating to physical resources to acid, functional efficiency, public safety, and aesthetic quality and ensure safety from adverse natural disaster and climate change. Our research was intended to examine different socio-economic and geophysical aspects to formulate the zoning of land in the light of disaster and climate change resilience. This might be considered as framework for making risk-sensitive physical and land use and disaster management plan. Study area. Our study area is Galachipa, Rangabali, Upazila, a coastal region and proximity to the Bay of Bengal. Natural disaster like cyclone, storm surge, flood, etc. These Upazila have a number of islands.
Are you still here? Safiqul? Safiqul, do you have any problem in connecting? Safiqul, do you have any problem?
Looks like he's out of the. So let's see. I think he will try to reconnect. So let's wait a minute.
Okay, sir. Recent disaster case study Cyclone Amphan. Galachipa and Rangabali Upazila Patuakhali district is highly prone to natural disaster. Super cyclone storm Amphan was powerful and deadly tropical cyclone that caused widespread damage in Galachipa and Rangabali Upazila. 4 deaths were reported from Patuakhali, Firozpur and Phola district after the cyclone Amphan. Meanwhile, the meteorological office said low-lying areas of the coastal districts of the coastal area were inundated by storm surges of 10 to 15 feet height above the normal astronomical tide. It is published on Pratapnagar 20 May 2020. For highly disaster-prone areas like Galachipa and Rangabali, it is mandatory to incorporate disaster resilience and mitigation strategy and planning documentation. Multi-criteria analysis. Here we analyze our data in GIS-based software, and we used the distance from the neighborhood to road, hospital, cyclone center, union headquarters, growth center, educational institution, and food stores. Also, we consider the income generation, monthly income, and monthly savings, because if we analyze the disaster-prone area, we have to consider physical and socio-economical data. This is criteria map. First, we mapping distance from road. Here we show the map. You can color band. If the structure or if the household is nearby road, this is good condition, and remote from the road, it is becoming worse towards. Then we use some weightage on our software, and we make it the which area is more vulnerable, which area is excellent. That will be shows in present in map. Distance from hospital and distance from cyclone center, distance from union headquarters, distance from nearby growth center, distance from school, college, and other education institution, distance from other facility like food storage, monthly income, and savings. Here we show the slide infrastructural state analysis. We consider the infrastructure because the cyclone or any kinds of to the structure. If the structure is good condition, it is resilient. We are findings here the which structure is more strength. In time of disaster, resource management and people protection will be faster. And Rangabali, Boro Vaidya, Soto Vaidya, and part of Charkazol Union. Charkazol Union of Rangabali Upazila have relatively good infrastructural capacity of fight any disaster at some extent, but still they are not even close to enough. Bokulbaria and Chaltibunia. Bokulbaria is a Galachipa Upazila. See the lower portion of the Borovaidya.
Safiqul Alam, if I could interfere, maybe if you mute your video, you will have a better audio transmission. Should we try that? Maybe you mute your video and they will hear you better. Should we try that? Thank you.
ভিডিওটা অফ করতে বলছি, ভিডিওটা মিউট করে দিয়ে শুধুমাত্র স্ক্রিন শেয়ার করা।
Some interpret by internet. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes,
Yes,
please.
we can hear you.
Yes,
Okay,
we can hear you.
Okay. Disaster resilient capacity zoning. Now we can go the resilient capacity zoning for preparation of comprehensive development plan. Economy plays the most vital role for the sustainability of any region. Being resilient of disaster means to become economically sustainable, to support quick recovery after disaster event, and infrastructurally strong to ensure proper mobility and emergency facility support. For a multi-criteria analysis of disaster resilience capacity zoning showed that Galachipa, Purshova, and Rangabali town have the best economic and infrastructural setup than the rural areas. Better communication facility and job opportunity makes the economy of those two urban areas stronger than other surrounding rural regions. Regional economy here is basically agriculture based. So damage of agriculture products due to disaster events affects the economy of this regional significantly. So people living in rural areas earn less than that of urban areas and they don't have much savings as well. Poor infrastructural setup and weak economy make people living in these areas more vulnerable and less resilient than people from urban areas to potential disaster. In Rangabali, Upazila, the economy is basically based on deep sea fishing, and most of the people are seasonal migrants, and they and highly exposed to natural resources like cyclone, storm, sharks, etc. So this union and island have been categorized as a West resilient.
সাইকুল সাহেব, আপনাকে আর 2 মিনিট সময়, আপনাকে 1 মিনিট এমনিতেই বেশি দেওয়া হচ্ছে, তো 2 মিনিট সময় আপনার আছে। থ্যাংক ইউ।
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you very much. Recommendation on achieving sustainable development is to provide facility and enable sustainable economic opportunity for the coastal communities. Development of social facility including education, health, water, and sanitation, ensuring social equity among communities. We have a recommendation for regional plan considering social justice. We recommendation for the government and the policy maker for this regional planning, social justice. There is this slide you can see here. In conclusion, Galachipa and Rangabali Upazila of Patuakhali district are two of the coastal Upazila of Bangladesh, and these are least developed.
Safiqul, lost again.
Sound nine?
Yes, I think we should move on.
Okay, madam.
This is conclusion
Okay.
anyway.
Shafiqul,
Yeah.
thank you very much. Can you hear me, Shafiqul?
Yes, ma'am, I can hear you.
Okay. I'm just giving the floor to my audience. Is there any question for Shafiqul? Is there any question? Okay, there is no question for you. But I had just a very short question.
Yes,
How
ma'am.
did you collect data? Did you undertake any survey?
Yes.
We have survey.
Yes, survey data.
Okay, so I think it would be nice if you please provide your email address to chat so that anyone interested about your paper could contact you. Okay?
Okay, madam, I will provide my details.
Okay. Thank you very much, Shafiqul, for your paper. We
Thank
hope
you, madam.
that we
Thank
can
you
have
all.
more information from you in future.
Okay, madam. Thank you. You
Okay,
thank you all.
thanks. Okay. Now, now I will invite Brigadier Iqbal to present his paper on challenges of disaster and human security management, a case study on SIDR. Please, Brigadier Iqbal.
Thank you, ma'am. And
Please share the screen.
yes, sure.
Can you contact? Yeah.
Yes. Is the
Yes, please.
slide visible?
Yes, please.
Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, please. Yeah.
Okay, right. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Honorable Chair Nilufar Jahan, Ben Australia, respected co-chair, distinguished speakers, and dear audience. Assalamu alaikum and a very good day to all.
Walaikum
I,
salam.
Brigadier General Dr. Iqbal Azim, Dean, Faculty of Arts and Social Science, Bangladesh University of Professionals. At the very outset, I would like to express my heartfelt thanks and gratitude for inviting me to present my research outcome and my rare experience in this prestigious platform, which would help to formulate our future disaster management strategy. As you can see the title, Challenges of Disaster and Human Security Management, and a study on super cyclone SIDR. Bangladesh is a deltaic land with huge vulnerability to natural disaster. Super cyclone SIDR is one of the broad, grateful consequence for the country. The name SIDR was contributed by Oman. And in the other saying, it is derived from Sinhalese language where SIDR means hole or eye. Supercyclonic storm SIDR formed in the central Bay of Bengal and quickly strengthened to reach to peak sustained wind flow of 250 km per hour, which made it Category 5 equipment tropical cyclone on the Saffir-Simpson scale. The storm eventually made landfall in southwestern part of Bangladesh on 15-16 November 2007 and caused damage of about $1.7 billion and died about 4,000 people. And super cyclone SIDR is considered as one of the strongest cyclones in the Bay of Bengal, which was even worse than that of 1991 cyclone. Cyclone warnings were issued timely, for which 1.5 million people could be evacuated to self-shelters. The kilometers after kilometers, all standing objects lied down to the ground within few hours. The Bangladesh Armed Forces reacted extremely well to the cyclone impact and developed the initial search and rescue, managing the early relief operations within hours of cyclone impacting the country. They continued to contribute the relief and rescue operations and was joined by United States of Armed Forces personnel and equipment. A forward coordination center was established at Borishal on 25th November 2007 to oversee the entire relief support. Bangladesh Armed Forces being deployed at the district level under Operation Alo Shandhane from earlier seized all the challenges of SIDR in the name of Operation Ashar Alo. 38th Air Defense Regiment Artillery, having been deployed, immediately participated in this critical operation of Jhalakati district. The broad or general objectives of my research paper is to unearth the challenges of disaster security management in SIDR-affected western part of the country. The specific objectives is to examine the horrific consequence of SIDR in Jhalakati district, to investigate as to how post-SIDR immediate challenges were encountered, to highlight midterm and long-term challenges accomplished, and finally, to derive important takeaways to formulate future disaster management strategies. Research is basically exploratory and descriptive in nature, and it was a mixed method as followed. Jhalakati district was selected as purposive sampling. The study explored the field of occurrence from beforehand the crisis took place. The researcher observed the situations as the commanding officer of the cyclonic turmoil, utilized the opportunity of conducting a complete observation and exploration over the field of study. It is based on mainly primary data and partially secondary data. Participation observation method was used to collect data and information. The consequence of SIDR in Jhalakati district. In fact, as background, this 38th Air Defense Regiment artillery was deployed in the area beforehand, as I said, and it was also conducting Operation Alo Shandhane to control the law and situation, conducted annual air defense force shooting, and was involved in Operation Navajatra to support national ID card preparation. So the beforehand, at around 1600 hours on 15th November, an emergency meeting was called in DC's office, and all the personnel from civil and military arena were present and took all our different decisions to take away the people from home back to the cyclone shelter. But many people are not convinced and stayed in their home. And at the night, a total devastation took place on 15th November. And on 19th November, Delhi's Jhalakati Barta covered that Jhalakati turned into the town of ghost. And it is really so. All communications broke down. Kilometer after kilometer, all structure laid down just like carpet. The horrible situations all around. So what we did, the challenges that we took initially, we took an oath that no more death out of starvation. And we ensured going door to door, whatever materials we could collect, and we could ensure that no more death out of starvation. And immediately we also took care of all the casualties around so that nobody dies. So the overall damage assessment that took place in the district, dead personnel about 47 died in the area, wounded about 11,206, affected family about 1,15,000, fully damaged house about 67,000 plus, partially damaged education institution 536, fully damaged crops about 6,106 hectares land, partially affected crops about 41,000 plus hectare land, dead cattle 726, dead poultry most affected, all poultry farms affected and totally destroyed, about 75,000 poultry, and damaged the poultry farm about 96. So the challenge came in after the initial challenge took over. How we make the total coordination at the grassroots level. So we made the command and control total structure that you can see, starting from the Armed Forces Division to the district level central coordination cell, down the level to the district level where the deputy commissioner and commanding officer present, at the Upazila level, Upazila Nirvahi officer and camp commander. It was a unique example of joint operations by both civil and military organs. We started getting the relief and rehabilitation materials from three different dimensions that you can see: the central coordination cell, this administration, and different NGOs and private agencies. Now, the different elements that we receive from different cells are shown on the screen. Huge amount. Through the road about 44 tons of elements, waterways 26 tons, helicopter, there were helicopter sorties. We established the helipad up to the village level, union level, and the civilians all participated. We worked as a team with all, and we constructed the helipads. The other relief materials that you can see on the screen. Next, the challenge came in, how to make the list of the affectees. Then we made the committee at the ward level and Upazila level. You can mark as to how we made the committee. You see, the ward level committee, the ward member, his nearest contender in the last election, the headmaster of the school, Imam or Purohit, and representative for army. So once we took the nearest contender of the last election, that ensured the neutrality of the list. At the Upazila level as well, you can see we took different personnel to have neutral list of the affected. We made three categories of list. Category A, the worst affected, fully affected, and category B, partially affected, and category C, from the mid-level and affluent family many were affected. They were not interested to come in the relief line. So we made them in category C. And we found there were duplication of giving the relief to the people. So we made a SIDR card with different category colors and symbols, and we ensured that all are in the same umbrella and there is no duplication or no mismatch of the any relief materials. Meanwhile, we carried out different multidimensional challenges we tried to do. The civil military medical team, about 40 teams worked down the level so that nobody has any serious suffering. The heli support operations was carried out with the support of making the helipad at the union level, and also the US Air Force and different foreign participants also they took part in the operation. The media management. In the initial stage, we found a little bit of reporting, a little bit otherwise about the performance, and later on, the commanding officer and the deputy commissioner every day used to sit taking the media people on board, and gradually they used to participate in all the operations, the media people, and we took them on board. And monitoring NGOs activities. At times, we found the NGOs are passing their project proposal without the ground scenario, and they were brought to the same umbrella for the distribution of the reliefs. The law and order situation was quite critical, and there were, especially once the relief distribution point was secured fully. The ensuring the water management is the most important thing, that we ensure that the stagnant water is given to remove the salinity. We give the lime for 3 days, and we ensure that the water is usable. Then we arrange PSF, the pond sand filter, the unique arrangement. It is like purification at the home level. So we use the PSF for giving the salinity of the water of the coastal water. Then we made the shallow tables and other different elements and ensure the proper drinking water for and drinking of the people. We also took care of the.
Yeah, Dr. Azim, you have 2 minutes. Thank you.
Right. So the other elements also we took on board, and we took 3 different dimensions: the midterm challenges, the agricultural, fisheries, and small businesses that included the different power tillers, water pumps, then battlenet gardens, rickshaws, vans, the sewing machines, to bring back the people to work as the midterm challenges. And we took care about 4,000 plus families for the midterm challenges. In the long-term challenges, we made 2 storage mosque cyclone shelter, and also it was made in the island so that it can be used as a common place as well. And also the biogas plant was made to support the electricity to about 80 houses. It was a big challenge to take care of this long-term plan. So with that, I'm almost at the end. The takeaways for our future disaster strategy. the disaster management committee must sit for after the signal 4 is declared, and job specifications should be very specific to perform. No more death out of starvation should be declared immediately. Damage assessment to be made with priority of jobs. Effective water management strategy is very, very important with using the line, establishing the PSF, shallow tables, and other elements. The initial strategy of listing down the people in terms of categories and other, and successful multi-dimensional operations are also very important to bring back normalcy in the people's life. And the midterm strategy to support the people to come back to the job. At times they don't feel like to come to the job. And the long-term strategy in terms of green forestation, permanent early warning system, cyclone shelter, etc., should be taken for the long-term, reduce a lot of sufferings of people. And finally, for the better coordination, the coordination between civil military organs, better is the effectiveness of disaster management operation. And the fixing date, cutoff date should be made at the end so that all things come to the normalcy. And it really came, really in time, the situation came to the normalcy. And out of the excellent performance of the unit, the 38th Air Regiment Artillery got the Chief Army Minister's commendation that you can see the down level, and it was highly appreciated by all concerned. So that's all from my side. Thank you very much for listening to me.
Thank you, Brigadier Iqbal. This is really nice paper. Actually, in your paper, you perfectly include management of resources and responsibilities. This is disaster management. How you have to look after the resources and responsibilities both. In your paper, you have included both of those items. Thank you very much for your paper. Is there any question for him? Is there any question? No, there is no question for you.
I had a question.
Sure. Thank you very much.
Yep.
Could
Brigadier
you please
General.
introduce yourself?
Yes,
Excuse me.
I'm Michael Bowler from Winona State University in the United States. I was living in Bangladesh in 1991 for that tragic disaster, and I know that 139,000 people died. It sounds like, you know, a much better disaster response, but was it also very unfortunate that I think it was a tidal wave with a cyclone that killed so many people in the Chars. Did that also happen in 2007? What explains? I'm just looking at what explains the so much less loss of life, although 4,000 people is also tragic.
Right, ma'am, I would like to answer. Michael Bowler, thank you very much, sir, for your initiative of asking these queries. Sir, you'll be very happy to know that in 2007, though the thrust was more than 1991 cyclone, but the effect, the death casualty, the other casualties were much lesser. It is not even 4,000, 3,000 plus something. And you know, before the cyclone took place on 15th afternoon, after the meeting at 1600 hours, we all went out and ensured people coming back to the cyclone shelters and leaving the coastal areas. And we could take about more than 1.5 million people out of the danger zone. And that really helped to reduce the casualties. And that's how the casualty rate came down to 3,000 plus. It could be, and another important thing, sir, that our luck favored. The tidal surge was at that time in the night. It was low tide. As such, the thrust could not take the water level more than 6-7 meters. Had it been the high tide, it could be massacre for the whole area. So, sir, the preparedness was much better than that of 1991 cycle. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Brigadier Azim. Could you please provide your email into our chat box so that if anyone has any question, they could actually contact you? Could you please?
Yes, ma'am, sure. I'm sharing the email. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you very much. Is there any more question?
Just a query, if I may, is Brigadier Azim, fantastic sharing of your experience and also a nice outline of how things happen. But what actually happens? Like when a disaster is about to happen, then what's the hierarchy of control? Who is in charge? And then how do you ensure that starting from local people, the NGOs and other groups and things, they all work under one command system? Is there something in place?
Sir, you are very correct. You are very correct. On 16th, on 15th afternoon, the Deputy Commissioner, DC, called for the meeting. And in that meeting, all the organs, including Army, we were present. And we took a lot of decisions. At night, we worked together. And in the later part, we worked together, basically. You know, there were even meeting, DC and me present, and the minutes of meeting signed by both Deputy Commissioner and the commanding officer. So we worked hand to hand under the umbrella of the Central Coordination Cell located in Borishal, which was chaired and which was under the minister, advisor at that time. So basically, the minister was working in the central committee, and in the district level, Deputy Commissioner and the commanding officer had been working together. So there was no problem. And really, it worked very well. The jointness of Army and civil organs together for any disastrous condition. Thank you very much.
Is that the same or similar sort of approach now on, and that it's been happening that way, or different?
Sir, I think the Armed Forces Division and the Disaster Ministry, they have made some provisions, and where they have made this structure, the command and control structure with this experience. And my aim is finally, from my experience, the future disaster management strategy about the command and control, the other elements could be streamlined, because that was a practical experience we had. That's how I made this research and I wrote this paper, so that our future disaster management strategy can include all our learnings of this operation.
Thank you very much.
Thanks. Thank you very much, Brigadier Iqbal. It's a nice paper. So now we can move to the next presenter, Shahadat Basir. Shahadat Basir paper is the intensity of environmental hazards and risk in Dhaka city based on social perceptions of city dwellers. Please welcome Shahadat Basir. Shahadat, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much. Please go on.
Thank you, everyone, for presenting in such a wonderful afternoon here. Now, everyone basically talking about our coastal area of Bangladesh, and now in the mid of the talking, I'm just talking about the Dhaka city. So how it looked like, I don't know, but just how I will present my paper here. Okay, the title of my paper is The Intensity of Environmental Hazard and Risk in Dhaka City. Okay. Here for the maintenance, I just hit the video, okay? And let's talk about the introduction. Okay, we all know that basically most urban areas are highly vulnerable due to environmental hazards such as earthquake, fire, waterlogging because of unplanned settlement and large agglomeration of people for their various needs. And we also know that Dhaka is the most vulnerable megacities in the world for crowded highways built with heavy materials, which is also located in an moderate earthquake zone. And Dhaka is also vulnerable, more vulnerable to fire, mixed residential areas, which becomes more acute in the hot and dry season. These are the problems basically face the Dhaka city dwellers. So, and also basically in that slum areas are more vulnerable to fire hazard because of the high density of populations that is built back to back by flammable materials and the use of mud stoves and also etc. But we all know that Dhaka is among the top most livable cities of the world, even when billions of people around the country are adding every year for betterment and accelerating the intensity of hazards and risks. So the question is how the city dwellers think about it. And that's why this paper's main thrust is to identify and assess the social perceptions and behavior against the existing overall environmental hazards and risks of urban residential areas in the Dhaka metropolitan area. Okay, for this, we just to extract the attitudes towards the environmental hazards and risks through different perspectives. 3 different residential areas were selected purposefully, which were situated nearly each other. One is Dhanmondi residential area, another is Sumitpur Pallavi Share Egaro, 11.5, and Kollanpur slum area, which is also known as the Kollanpur Porabosti. And this is our methodology of our study. For this study, we study about, for the primary data collection, we used about households head about 20 years old and living there more than 5 years were targeted, and anonymity was ensured for all of them. And in the absence of household head, an adult member of the household was interviewed. A total of 180 households and 60 households from each area were surveyed to assess their perceptions, behavior against environmental risks, pollution, and other scarcities. And for the analysis, we used Likert scale and other analysis to show the interpretation, show the findings of our study. So these are the findings of our study. The first findings is about the intensity of environmental hazard. As I mentioned earlier, we just took here 3 environmental hazards. One is earthquake, fire hazard, and waterlogging. Here, fire hazard is taken as a man-made occurrence. The study found that about 64% respondents of Dhanmondi and 70% of Mirpur area claimed very risky for earthquake due to the vast density of both population and buildings, which caused a significant loss of properties and lives. On the contrary, more than 85% slum dwellers are at low risk in Kollanpur slum due to the absence of high-rise buildings except for compact shanty settlements. But all the slum dwellers, already known as the Porabosti, they claim that fire is the most significant hazard and life-threatening issues because they recently faced a destructive fire in January 2016. But on the other hand, the study also explored that waterlogging is not a very big problem, but the root of many problems. So around 20% people responded that in the rainy season, it becomes terrible in all the residential area. More of the slum areas of Bangladesh, where dwellers have to confront water stagnation by excessive rainfalls for narrow and unpaved road. And then these are the uneven sewage system. This is because of the waterlogging. In Dhanmondi residential area and the Mirpur, the study revealed waterlogging has no crucial effect on the sewage system because of well-organized, where overall 100% dwellers use a septic tank, which is an excellent sign for an ideal sewage system. But in slum, at present, about 42% of latrines have the septic tank, and 48% uses of integrated sewage system. But rest of the sewage lines are connected to the drainage line of Kollanpur slum, which really creates a severe problem for all the slum dwellers because of narrow roads and inadequate drainage systems. Waterlogging, when the flash floods, the heavy rain happens, it becomes a massacre towards the area. Here I just give a picture which you can see the scenario of that massacre. One kind of massacre. And then another issue is the mosquito problem, which is created for the waterlogging. You can see here that about 38% of the inhabitants claim that waterlogging is the main reason for mosquitoes growth, because cemented tanks, bathtubs, septic tanks, unused wells, sterile ponds, polluted cannons, and open water containers serve as the real haven for mosquito breeding. The study revealed that also 60%, households claim mosquito as the very severe problem, in Dhanmondi and also in Mirpur. But Kollanpur slum area, the mosquito problem is the highly severe than other residential areas, are the 74% slum dwellers. The study also found that because about 62% are chikungunya as the devastating epidemic in Kollanpur slum, where only 26% claim the dengue fever. For the protection from menace problem, most of them uses mosquito net, clove coil as preventive measures, and high residential use as basically aerosol spray, and get the facility from machine spray from the Dhaka metropolitan area. And here are the major, environmental risk or the scenario of pollution. Here I just show the graphs. And as I mentioned earlier, that according to the WHO 2018, Dhaka, the mega city of Bangladesh, the worst air pollution among the top 20 cities in the world. The study explored that Dhanmondi residential area, even being planned and agglomeration for high-income people, the intensity of air pollution, noise pollution, and dust pollution are very severe, claimed by 44%, 56%, and 60% households respectively, due to congestion of commercial, residential, and institutional buildings, motorized vehicles, construction works, and indiscriminate use of loudspeaker. And in Mirpur Pallavi area, these problems are significantly high because of ongoing construction activities where 58% of households are dust pollution and 32% altered air pollution, but 48% people claim noise pollution is moderately high because of their used to with this common problem. Contrarily, if we look at this Kollanpur slum, a study revealed that more than 55% households are confronting very severe dust pollution and air and noise pollution respectively, due to the congestion and burning solid fuels for cooking, which are wood, papers, and elastic and plastic wastes, and noisy behavior of the dwellers. Maximum respondents of the Kollanpur slum area say that they have a moderate issues about the water pollution because they are habituated to use polluted water and to wait on a queue for a long time due collector for drinking water supplied by Wasafik only in the morning. For the using contaminated water causes a variety of health disease, including skin, diarrhea, malaria, and also other diseases. And another pollution is indoor pollution, which we can also we have to accept that in residential areas, along with other pollutions, this indoor pollution is boosting up day by day, owing to lack of ventilation facilities. So though the research revealed that there is a significantly absence of ventilation facilities in Kollanpur slum, where 95% residents claim no sufficient ventilation. The situation is extremely vulnerable because of overcrowding and congregation, low quality building structure, materials like wood, bamboo, straw, thatch, and things, so on. No separate place for cooking because they have to cook in there where they live, beside their bed. So on the other hand, we see the Dhanmondi and Mirpur Pallavi area, they get incredible sufficient ventilation, which is claimed as 70 to 76% resident, because most of the apartment holders give the highest priority on this facility, adequate ventilation facilities. On the other hand, these ventilation facilities are primarily dependent on the availability of open space, which is diminishing at an alarming rate in Dhaka city. This figure is showing that about 78% dwellers of Dhanmondi residential area are moderately satisfied because of they have a Dhanmondi lake as a recreational place and some playgrounds, especially for the children. But at the same time, Mirpur area, around more than 70% people are satisfied because they have a national zoo, botanical garden, national stadium, and adjacent so some playgrounds for their children. But in Kollanpur slum area, if you look at here, they have more than 75% slum dwellers are unsatisfied for not existing any open space because these kinds of people have no facilities to pay. Even after expending highest amount of money for per square feet among all dwellers of city. Fun fact is the children uses mosque premises as their recreation place and playground. And this is also existing a water body called Jheel by the local people, and which is full of wastages and garbage. Hence, the dream for open space is just a joke for them, nothing at all. But all of them dwellers demand.
Shahadat, thank you. You have 2 minutes. You have 2 minutes. Thank you.
I'm about to finish. Okay, so the main urges from them is they want recreational, a playground for their children's mental refreshment. And here is some of our recommendations and some conclusions that we try to show some perceptions of city dwellers from 3 different residential areas, though these areas are located very nearly in Dhaka city. But you will see the inequalities and comparison, but if they're located each very nearly. So here some recommendations are that we need some comprehensive national policies and plans should be developed to promote the benefits and possibilities of extending basic services. So there is, from my opinion, there is no conclusion because either if we can't improve the situation, how can I conclude it? So the last thing I would like to say that if this environmental hazards and risks run as usual, how a city will be sustainable and how we'll make our city resilient. A better plan and good initiatives can eradicate these issues by managing minimum facilities to slum areas of Dhaka city so that they can more accelerate our economy and develop our country. Thank you, everyone. That's all from me.
Thank you very much, Shahadat Hasib. This is really a picture of Dhaka city. You just taken Dhanmondi as a rich area, but I think Dhanmondi is a place for middle income earners. It's not the rich people over there. Rich people lived over in Baridhara or Gulshan area. They should take them as a representative for rich area. Anyway,
this residential area is taken as a nearly situated. Because of this, I have taken 3 different areas because you will see that one is Mirpur, Pallavi, another is Kallanpur Slum, and another is Dhaka. So if we compare with them, Dhanmondi is always upper from them, that
true.
side. Yeah,
that's true. But interestingly, the result shows regarding ventilation.
Yep.
When you got the response for sufficient ventilation, 3 areas shows almost a similar trend. Almost. They are all these areas, Pallavi or Dhanmondi, whatever you go, there is a problem for ventilation. All buildings are so close. If you open window, there is no wind at all. So no breathing. So the ventilation is really a problem. So it is really important to look after this. There will be huge disaster in Dhaka city if no one look after this hazard things that are coming out for us. So we have to plan our resources. We have to plan who will take care of this, who will take care of this hazard, and how we can rectify the problems. Thank you very much. So the floor is open. So anyone there, please ask question to Shahadat. The floor is open for you. Is there any question?
I just have a remark that Shahadat, you are a brave man to talk about Dhaka city. You are really brave. But look, it's a good highlight of what's happening, and in a way that's our past.
Yeah.
Can we say that this is the worst past, and then we look forward to a better future, and how?
We always look forward to for a better future because we are in a young generation, and that so one will come. But this is your duty, also my duty, to make our environment sustainable for all of us, because we are the educated people and make this city dirty and dirty, because by our educated people make dirty our city, and the uneducated people, they're cleaning our city. And this is the trend actually is happening here, because when we plan something, if this plan is not sustainable, how our city can be sustainable, and how can we talk about sustainable development or kind of resilient? Because we have to think what we are in an upper position, an upper field, we have to think about it. How can we make our city resilient and also sustainable development for all of us?
We can make it.
Yeah.
No, we can make it.
For a little information, this is my paper. It is already under review. It has been, accepted in Bangladesh Asiatic Society for publishing this paper. Okay, if anyone wants to know the full paper, you can go there. Welcome.
Thank you. So one thing, Shahadat, actually, before going back, new presenter, I think your paper is an excellent paper, but from a research point of view, I think you could have more explanation for the result. Why is like this? So if you add more on that to explain the result, that would make much more richer the paper.
Yeah, of course, ma'am. I have it described in my paper. There's a long description about the result, why this is happening, and also their discussion I try to make on my paper. And for the shortest of time, I just here highlight the result of my paper, and nothing more I can do that.
It's okay.
Other than, okay, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, Shahadat. So we are now going to next presenter. This is for...
Sir, I have a question.
Yes, please. Go on.
Please.
Oh, my name is Rasubul Kubir. I'm currently studying at Shahadat University doing my master's second semester at Geography and Environment. I want to add something that I live in Mirpur. I live in Mirpur, and the majority of the socio-economic status of the Mirpur area, they're basically garment workers, and they do not have they do not get enough space to live in minimum minimum like house, like minimum condition. Like they really live in the underlying and they live in slum really. And in this pandemic situation, they're really in. They do not wear masks. They do not. They do not follow any regulations of health safety. And these are the conditions right now. Just I want to add that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so could you please, Bibi Hafsa, is there? I think someone is presenting her paper. Is anyone there to present the paper for Bibi Hafsa? I think
Yes, ma'am, I'm
someone
there.
is there.
Yes, ma'am, I'm there.
Okay, is there?
Yeah, I'm trying to present my slide.
Okay, so the paper you're
Also the-
presenting on trend analysis of tropical cyclone in Bangladesh over the past 35 years, right?
Yeah.
Okay, please
Can
go
you
on.
see this?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay. Good to see you all. This is Raju Ahmed from Jahan University. At first, I thank to Almighty to like me and give me a wonderful chance to present here. I'd like to Bapaben Authority, especially Dr. Muhammad Shahidul Islam sir, also to the conference session chair Nilufar Jahan sir, our co-chair Sawpan sir, host and other participant researcher and participants. Thanks to all. I wanna give special thanks to all presenters who already present in more knowledgeable information with His Excellency. By the way, this is my first international conference presentation. I want to disclose about a topic entitled Trend Analysis of Tropical Cyclone in Bangladesh over the past 35 years in 1985 to 2019. Okay. Firstly, there are many kinds of hazard and disaster in Bangladesh. Cyclone is one of them. Cyclone is the most common hazard in Bangladesh, which occurred in Bangladesh coastal region every year. We all are familiar, hopefully we all are familiar about tropical cyclone of Bangladesh. Tropical cyclone impact are already faced by very kind of coastal region peoples of Bangladesh from ancient time. The funnel shape they, along with the change in depressional belt, are responsible for higher degree of damage in this part of this world. This cyclone occurred in highest speed up to 240 km per hour, and its tidal range 3 meters too high, and it may increase up to 7 meters. Okay, here showing the major cyclone in Bangladesh, this historical context. Actually, I disclosed this table without, with two monsoon, one pre-monsoon and another is post-monsoon. Actually, post-monsoon cyclone are more severe than the pre-monsoon cycle. If you get an example, you can see SIDR in 2017. Actually, this slide show the loss and damages of cyclone in Bangladesh. Here we are showing two different kinds of bar diagram. Left bar diagram shows the human lost lives, and right diagram shows the total economic loss of Bangladesh. Okay, now I want to disclose only two big points in this board diagram. In 1991, the super cyclone occurred in Bangladesh, and it's the loss of the human damages is most damages in our record, and this economical loss also higher in other cyclones. If we get this slide, this here showing the cyclone velocity, and another is peak duration of tropical cyclone in Bangladesh. Actually, here is showing the two cyclones are highest peaked. One is 1991, that also a super cyclone, that was a super cyclone, and another 2017 SIDR. This velocity was 215 kilometer per hour, and super cyclone 1991 velocity was 214 kilometer per hour. And right diagram shows the peak duration Bangladesh cyclone. Average peak duration is 3 minutes, and hopefully we all know that low velocity or high peak duration maintained, and low and high duration, high velocity are maintained, small peak duration of cyclone. This showing the study area. We are studied in all over the Bangladesh, this cyclone. Actually, this study showing this map are categorized, three categories of this map. One is high risk area, then moderate risk area, and high wind speed area. Actually, high risk area always all our cyclone land in high risk area. So high risk area is more damages for the other areas. Then the moderate risk area and high wind speed, we cannot tell the low risk zone area. Actually, we tell here high wind area because of this area wind velocity less than 70 kilometer per hour. So we tell this area is sorry, high wind area. Okay, now I'm sharing the research methodology. Actually, in this research, this mainly secondary database used for analysis. We collect satellite image and many more data from like BMG and other sources. Then this satellite imagery and administration boundary, we reference it, we projection and digitize it, and then we input in two tools, different tools, one tools in GIS and another tools in SPSS analysis. Okay, then we use GIS for exploring the spatial statistical analysis, hotspot analysis, spatial autocorrelation, mean center analysis, cyclone pattern analysis, and cyclone directional distribution analysis. We used SPSS analysis for our build up the correlation and consistency between the losses and velocity of cyclone, and showing the diagram. This slide shows the cyclone track of Bangladesh. Actually, here I showing the major cyclone track of Bangladesh. We hopefully you all know that the Bay of Bengal usually move northwest in the beginning and it curves eastward. And a great information for you all, our Bangladesh cyclone is not uniform. It can hit randomly in any place. Already our history is said that. Okay, now I am showing the hotspot mean center directional distribution of cyclone pattern in Bangladesh. Actually, here showing the mean center. Mean center is Bhola, Barguna, and Patuakhali district. Actually, mean center is more affected whatever the cyclone landing point. Hotspot is not significant. Why it's not significant? Actually, we analyze the hotspot depends on the landing point. You all are see that this is actually landing point of cyclone, and this is mean center, that whatever the cyclone attacked or hit any kind of place, but mean center always will be affected. Then we can disclose the directional distribution. Actually, already it concerned to you that cyclone in the Bay of Bengal usually more northwest in the beginning and then curve eastwards. Okay. Then we are showing the correlation or consistency between losses and cyclone velocity. Actually, here we see the all our correlation are highly positive correlation with 99% significance level. Actually, this is velocity, and this all are correlation with velocity, and this result shows to us the velocity, cyclone velocity and loss are more correlated. Here showing the most losses of animal and cattle, and then human lives. Why animal and cattle? Because when we know that when cyclone is occurred, the cyclone is occurred, then we can prepare, we can take many shelters, we can go to cyclone center, and we can take many kind of mitigation process or adaptation process, but always animal and cattle didn't get it. So that human, animal and cattle is more affected and more damaged than the human lives. Then agricultural losses. Actually, agricultural losses, what kind of losses are occurred in agricultural losses? It depends on the season. Which season are occurred in cyclone? It's depend on the correlation. That's already a highly positive correlation. We show this table. Now I'm showing the cyclonic pattern analysis of Bangladesh.
Raju, thank you. And you have 2 more minutes. So
okay,
finish this. Thank you.
Within 3 minutes, okay. Here showing the cyclone pattern of Bangladesh. We see this diagram. It's analysis by using tool ArcGIS. Here showing the modern index 0.24, and here showing the cyclone pattern is random. That already I noticed and I shared with you all. This our cycle is not uniform. This also occurred in randomly. Then we produced a cyclone vulnerable area that's also developed by district wise, and this data based on the last 35 years cyclone affected data. Then here showing the 5 categories of vulnerable: very high vulnerable, highly vulnerable, moderately vulnerable, low vulnerable, and very low vulnerable. Mainly the very high vulnerable is Bhola, Borguna, Patuakhali, Borishal, and Noakhali and Chittagong. Actually, already I present my various kind of analysis. Then I want to conclude this. Actually, cyclone of the directional distribution is northwest in beginning and curved then eastwards, and this pattern is not uniform because causes of it's hit any place of randomly, but Bhola, Patuakhali, and Borguna are more affected region. This also called mean center, and mean center located also Bhola, Patuakhali, and Borguna. If we analyze the very highly vulnerable tropical cyclone in Bangladesh, we also seen that Bhola, Borguna, Patuakhali, Borishal, Noakhali, and Chattogram are highly vulnerable from the vulnerable for Bangladesh cyclone. Actually, this research will aid to mitigate cyclone losses, build adaptive capacity, then adapt resilience capacity, and proper plan and policy to mitigate cyclone. Actually, we have to maintain an adapted cyclone. We have enough capability to protect it, but we can prevention. We can take policy for prevent our loss and damages. Thank you so much for our life.
Thank you, Raju. Thank you very much for your paper. Actually, we don't have that much of time left. Still, I'm just asking you a question. that you have done very well using 3 areas. But first question, do you take any seasonal effect? Number one. Number two, in correlation result, you have shown relationship between loss and velocity. So that means the higher the velocity, the higher is the loss. That's the correlation result you have shown. And then you concluded that if you have taken some other management policy and like resilient power and all those things, then that loss could be less. My point is that when you run the correlation, why you didn't take that into your independent variable? So your dependent variable is loss. So losses also depend when you have other resilient power things or capabilities or like a disaster management things. So if you take that one, the loss could be less. Do you think it is possible?
Yeah, ma'am, you're right. Here, dependable variable also loss. It's actually a consistency between loss and cyclone velocity. When cyclone velocity is very high, it can occur a very high losses. Okay, if velocity is low, whatever cyclone losses can be low.
Anyway, the floor is open. Is there any question for him? Is there any question? If there is no question, I would ask our co-chair, Dr. Sawpan Pal, for his concluding remarks.
Thank you so much.
Dr. Sawpan Pal? Dr. Sawpan Pal, we can't hear you. I think Dr. Sawpan Pal has some internet connection problem. He shouldn't be in Sydney. I think you are hearing me, but we can't hear you. Right, Dr. Sawpan Pal, are you there? I think Sawpan Pal actually couldn't contact, and we are now just 4:29. So I'm just going for conclusion. Actually, this is really a very nice session. We have many important speakers, and they just focus on disaster management and in relation to disaster management. They also provided some problems in Dhaka city, like hazard in Dhaka city, and also Raju presented a paper how the velocity actually affected cyclones in our life. So it's very important about disaster management, because we know disaster management planning is that all disaster management stakeholders should understand their roles, their responsibilities, their capability, and capacity when responding to an event, any cyclone or any like COVID-19. We have seen the COVID-19. It is a big disaster, but it is suddenly came to us, and we are not ready for that. That's how we have many losses, many casualties. So it is important that disaster management planning should be there. If there is no planning, if there is disaster management, we should distribute the resources and responsibilities so that we can reduce their vulnerability and also strengthen the capacity to resist. So this disaster management, in fact, actually help us for our health security, for our food security, and for our life. So thank you very much for everyone to participate in this session. Thank you very much. We'll see you in our next sessions. Thank you. It's closing the session.
Thank you, Honorable Chair and Co-Chair, to host this session and giving your valuable time to us. And also, I'd like to thank all the speakers and the participants to participate in this session. And finally, I'd like to invite you all in our next session. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Papa.
Bye to everyone. Bye to everyone.
Thank you very
Bye.
much, everybody.
Thank you.
We
We'll
are
have
most
contact.
welcome to visit BUP, Bangladesh University of Professionals.
Yes, sir.
Yes.